Dear students, welcome you again for the second BSc Physics class. In this session, we shall discuss about Joule-Thomson expansion related expressions for temperature of inversion, inversion curve, and relation between boil temperature, temperature of inversion, and critical temperature of a gas. In the previous session, we have discussed about the Joule-Thomson effect or the Joule-Kelvin effect, and also porous plug experiment and the experimental results. Let us recall, when a gas is allowed to escape adiabatically through a porous plug from the region of high pressure to a region of low pressure, it undergoes a change in temperature. This process is called Joule-Thomson expansion or adiabatic throttling. This phenomenon is known as the Joule-Thomson effect. The change of temperature may be positive or negative depending upon the nature of the gas and the initial temperature of the gas. The particular temperature at which the Joule-Thomson effect changes sign is called the temperature of inversion. Now, we shall try to derive an expression for temperature of inversion. For real gases, we have van der Waals equation of state, that is P plus A by V square into V minus B is equal to RT. Let this be equation number 1. Assuming that the van der Waals equation is obeyed, the attractive forces between the molecules are equivalent to an internal pressure A by V square. So this internal pressure A by V square is explained in the earlier session. When a gas is subjected to Joule-Thomson expansion, there will be two types of work done. One is the internal work done to overcome the intermolecular attractions of the molecules, and the external work done. So when a gas expands from volume V1 to volume V2, that is the initial volume V1 to the final volume V2, the work done in overcoming intermolecular attractions will be given by omega I is equal to integration from V1 to V2 P dV. So where P dV is the work done, but P is equal to A by V square. Therefore, this omega I will be equal to integration of V1 to V2 A by V square with respect to V. So this will fetch us omega I is equal to minus A by V2 plus A by V1. If V1 and V2 represents the gram molecular volume on the high and low pressure sides respectively, the external work done by the gas is given by omega E is equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So this product P2 V2 and P1 V1 gives the work done. Before expansion, the work done is P1 V1, and after expansion the work done is P2 V2. Hence, the total work done by the gas is given by W is equal to omega E minus omega I, that is equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1 minus A by V2 plus A by V1. Let this be equation number 2. From equation 1, that is the van der Waals equation, which is rewritten as like this: PV plus A by V minus BP minus AB by V square is equal to RT, or it can be written as PV is equal to RT plus BP minus A by V, where AB by V square term is negligible. It is negligible, it can be omitted from this expression. From equation 2, the total work done W is equal to RT plus BP2 minus A by V2 minus RT plus BP1 minus A by V1 minus A by V2 plus A by V1, that is equal to W is equal to B into P2 minus P1 plus 2A into 1 by V1 minus 1 by V2. But V1 is equal to RT by P1 and V2 is equal to RT by P2. Therefore, the work done expression becomes W is equal to B into P2 minus P1 plus 2A into P1 by RT minus P2 by RT. Now W is equal to P1 minus P2 into 2A by RT minus B. Since the fall in temperature is delta T, W, the work done, is equal to J into H. So this expression is written from the enthalpy concept. Therefore, the W is equal to J into M into Cp into delta T, where M is the gram molecular weight of the gas, Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure, delta T is the change in temperature or fall in temperature. Now the expression can be written as J M Cp delta T is equal to P1 minus P2 into 2A by RT minus B. This expression becomes delta T is equal to P1 minus P2 divided by Jm Cp into 2A by RT minus B. So here this term 2A by RT minus B is very important. We can consider different cases. Since P1 minus P2 is positive, that is P1 is greater than P2, delta T will be positive if the term 2A by RT minus B is positive. That is 2A by RT is greater than B, or T is less than 2A by RT. Therefore, cooling will take place if the temperature of the gas is less than 2A by RB. 2A by RB. Now consider case 2. For delta T to be 0, we have 2A by RT minus B is equal to 0, or T is equal to 2A by RB from the above expression. This temperature is called the temperature of inversion and is represented by Ti. Ti is equal to 2A by RB. This is very important expression which gives the temperature of inversion of a gas. Next, case 3, delta T will be negative if 2A by RT minus B is negative. That is, B is equal to I mean B greater than 2A by RT, or T greater than 2A by RB, or T is greater than Ti, temperature of inversion. In this condition, the heating will take place if the temperature of the gas is more than the temperature of inversion. So what is the temperature of inversion? We can recall once again. Temperature of inversion for a gas is the inversion temperature, that is a particular temperature at which the Joule-Thomson effect changes sign. We can note that the inversion temperature is not constant for a given gas but varies with the initial pressure of the gas. Now we shall look into the inversion curve. In the figure you can see a graph of temperature versus pressure drawn for a gas, and from these curves we can understand the inversion curve. In order to plot the inversion curve, let us consider a series of Joule-Thomson experiments are performed in the same gas. Let P1 T1 be the initial pressure and temperature on the high pressure side, and P2 V2 be the pressure and temperature on the other side of the porous plug respectively. Keeping pressure P1 constant, temperature T1 on higher pressure side is changed. Again, pressure P2 is varied, and every time the temperature T2 is noted. The experiment is repeated for various constant values of T1. A set of curves corresponding to different values of enthalpy H are obtained as shown in the figure. So these are the set of curves obtained at constant values of T1. Every curve possesses a maximum temperature which is known as temperature of inversion. The locus of such inversion point is called the inversion curve. Here you can observe in the figure the dotted line or the dotted curve in the figure represents the inversion curve. The region inside the inversion curve represents the cooling region. So this region is the cooling region, and the region outside the inversion curve, so this region is known as the heating region. Next, we shall discuss about the relation between boil temperature, temperature of inversion, and critical temperature of a gas. So these are the three temperatures which are very important in understanding the characteristics of a gas. Boil temperature is the temperature at which a real gas starts behaving like an ideal gas over a particular range of pressure. Temperature of inversion is the temperature at which Joule-Thomson effect is 0 and changes sign is known as the temperature of inversion. And about the critical temperature, the critical temperature of a gas is the temperature at or above which vapor of the gas cannot be liquefied no matter how much pressure is applied. We have discussed in the earlier session about the critical temperature, and we have understood what is a critical temperature. The boil temperature can be given by the expression Tb is equal to A by Rb. Temperature of inversion Ti can be given by Ti is equal to 2A by Rb, and the critical temperature Tc is equal to 8A divided by 27 Rb. From the equations 1 and 2, said earlier, by dividing equation 1 by 2, so we get the relation between inversion temperature and the boil temperature, that is Ti is equal to 2B. From the equations 1 and 3, we have dividing equation 1 by 3, equation 3, we get Ti by Tc is equal to 2A by Rb into 27 Rb by 8A, that will give us 27 by 4, that is equal to 6.75, or we can also write this as 4 Ti is equal to 27 Tc. This is the relation between the inversion temperature and the critical temperature. The experimental value of Ti by Tc, that is the ratio of inversion temperature to the critical temperature for actual gas, is just less than 6. It means that the temperature of inversion is very much higher than the critical temperature. We may also give the relation between the critical temperature Tc and the boil temperature Tb as dividing the critical temperature expression by the boil temperature expression. So we get a relation as 27 Tc is equal to 8 Tb. This is the relation between the critical temperature and the boil temperature. So now we have for hydrogen, the temperature of inversion is equal to 190 Kelvin and the critical temperature is 33 Kelvin. As the temperature of inversion Ti is greater than the critical temperature Tc, the methods employing regenerative cooling, that is the Joule Kelvin cooling, are preferred to those employed in the initial cooling of the gas below the critical temperature. Since the ratio Ti by Tc is a number, that is 6.75, from the above equation 4, the ratio of temperature of inversion and critical temperature does not depend upon the nature of the gas. And this is about the relation between boil temperature, temperature of inversion and the critical temperature of a gas.